So you know how every year there are those two video games that are pretty much the main contenders for Game of the Year? Well, I'm pretty sure we already have our Game of the Year contenders for 2025. And I know we don't even have our Game of the Year for this year yet. Most people are thinking it's either going to be Black Myth Wukong or Astrobot. You know, we have games like Stellar Blade, Helldivers for a little bit, and Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2, but it's looking like Black Myth Wukong versus Astrobot. Next year, though, 2025, is looking like GTA 6 versus Ghost of Yotei. And let's be honest here, GTA 6 is still going to win, no doubt about it. But this is going to be our matchup, I'm assuming. I know we still have a lot of games coming out next year. It's going to be a pretty good year for video games. But most likely, this is going to be the matchup. Still to this day, people think that Ghost of Tsushima was robbed at the Game Awards in 2020. It lost against The Last of Us Part 2. Now, you know, of course, depending on who you are, you might agree with that, you might not. But regardless of that, that holds something. The fact that it almost won Game of the Year already against The Last of Us Part 2 is, in my opinion, enough justification to believe that it could possibly win. Though it's not going to win because it's in the same year as GTA 6. So there's no chance of that at all. Some people argue that since it's a PlayStation exclusive, it probably won't win Game of the Year, or it shouldn't win the Game of the Year, but that hasn't stopped other games, other PlayStation exclusive games from winning. Like The Last of Us Part 2 won. I think Uncharted 4 won Game of the Year in 2016, or was that Overwatch? Actually, it might have been Overwatch. Yep, my bad. It was Overwatch that won in 2016. I must have been thinking when Nolan North won an award for it. But anyway, point still stands because The Last of Us Part 2 won in 2020, and again, PlayStation exclusive. But it's not like it matters anyway, because again, GTA 6, that will be available to everybody, will win Game of the Year. It's Game of the Decade, Century. In terms of other games that might be nominated next year for Game of the Year, I'm thinking that Marvel game, Marvel 1943, Mafia the Old Country will probably get nominated. If Tomb Raider, the next Tomb Raider game, were to be shown and released next year, I'm thinking that would probably get nominated as well. Though I don't know how likely that is because they haven't shown anything official other than the fact that they're working on a new Tomb Raider game. They haven't showed anything really, so I don't even know if the game's going to come out next year. I believe we've only seen leaks that the game's going to take place in Egypt. At least that's going to be one of the main locations in the game, and that it's going to be a little bit more open world than from what we came to expect from the last 3 games in the series. But yeah, Game of the Year 2025 is looking like Grand Theft Auto 6, with a close second being Ghost of Yotei. And honestly, I'm thinking GTA 6 is probably going to win most of the awards at the Game Awards, apart from Game of the Year. If we look back at 2018, Red Dead 2 and God of War were both tied for the most nominations at the Game Awards. They had 8, I believe, and Red Dead ended up taking 4 awards home, if I remember correctly. But of course, God of War ended up taking Game of the Year, and for most people, that's still up for debate. I would say the majority of people actually think that Red Dead 2 should have taken Game of the Year, and I don't completely disagree with it, but I don't disagree with God of War taking Game of the Year either, with how they were able to tell the story that they did and how it was able to reach a certain audience. You know, it was a father and son and mother type of story, and it was able to get to that type of audience and even keep the current God of War audience, if that makes sense. But also with Red Dead Redemption 2, it was able to tell such a simple story, yet in such a complex way, with complex characters, and it just really made you think. Both games just kind of made you sit back and reflect on life a little bit. I guess depending on who you are, you might connect more with one game over the other, but either way, I believe both of them were contenders and able to win Game of the Year. And knowing Rockstar, they're going to be able to pull that off with GTA 6, especially with it being like a love story, you know, a couple in a life of crime, you know. So there's so much you can do with that. So much story you can tell and so much you can do with the characters, and yeah, honestly, I just can't wait for it, man. I hope the game doesn't get delayed. If it has to be delayed, then delay it, but please, don't wait until May to tell us. Don't wait until May of next year to tell us the game's going to be delayed. But yeah, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know we're looking way too far in the future. We're not even at the Game Awards for this year yet. We're looking at 2025, but, you know, it's always nice to look into the future a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. GTA 6 or Ghost of Yotei for 2025. Like the video if you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.